Okay, now we have seen that we can represent a function using different ways. Among those ways, the most common way is to use an equation to represent a function. When we use an equation to represent a function, you can imagine the equation is like a machine, and all the x values are the input, and all the y values are the output. So for any x value, like here, so for any x value, the equation will generate a y value. So that means we're gonna have an ordered pair. And the equation will guarantee that if for the same x value, it will generate the same y value. So you won't have the situation that the same x value has a different y value. You won't have that kind of thing happen. Okay. Now, let's say we are given this equation, fx equals 6x minus 2. And we are asked to evaluate the function at x equals -3. So this sentence, evaluate the function at x equals -3, means, okay, it wants you to tell if the input is -3, then what is the output, right? So here we have this equation, y equals 6x minus 2, and it asks for if the input is -3, then what is the output? Now, to solve this problem, what we do is we substitute this number -3 for the x, okay? So if we substitute the -3 for the x, we have f of -3, which gonna be our output. Now, and this output equals 6 times -3 minus 2. So the answer is -20. Now sometimes we are asked to evaluate the function at some expressions. So instead of giving us a number, we are asked to evaluate the function at some expressions. So for example, given this function fx equals 5x plus x squared over 2, and we ask to evaluate the function at x equals a minus 1. So in this case, our input is this expression x minus 1, and we want to figure out what is output. So we used the same way, okay? We substitute a minus 1 for x. So as long as we have x, we change the x into a minus 1. And then equals 5 times x, so we write this into 5 times a minus 1. Now remember, you want to add this parenthesis, because otherwise you will have 5a minus 1. That's incorrect, right? And plus x squared, so we plus a minus 1 squared, and over 2. Now the 2 we don't do any change, because the 2 doesn't contain x. Alright, now once you have this, next you want to simplify this expression. You want to simplify this expression. So 5 times a minus 1, and let's distribute 5 into a minus 1. We have 5a minus 5. Now a minus 1 square, this is equal to a minus 1 times a minus 1. So this is a square minus a plus 1. So it's a square minus 2a plus 1. And then we combine the like terms. So we have a squared and 5a minus 2a and negative 5 plus 1. So f of a minus 1 gonna be equal to this.